Okay, let's enter the Hakdama, the opening of Shlomo Yisachar Teichtel. Ein Abanim Semech. How he opens his sefer and he brings a story, a short story, of nonetheless the Baal HaTanya, the first Rebbe of Chabad, the first Lubavitcher Rebbe who wrote the Tanya, who wrote the Shulchan Aruch, and the Rebbe was sitting in jail. And Ma'in Yavo Ezri, of course, he had bitachon, had emunah, but on the other hand, he was willing to be moser nefesh, to be a yid, to live as a yid and to die as a yid. However, says the Rebbe that eventually he came out of jail, and he uttered that the zchus of Eretz Yisrael stood to help him survive jail and come out from jail unharmed. The zchus of Eretz Yisrael and the Yidden who are living upon Eretz Yisrael. It's known that the Rebbe Ber, the Magid Mimezrich, sent dozens, if not hundreds, of Talmidim, of Hasidim, to go to Eretz Yisrael. They settled in Sfas. We have today in Sfas, the Baal Shem Tov actually began this movement. Talmidei Baal Shem Tov, Talmidei Magid Mimezrich, some famous ones. We had Rav Tversky, Rav Nochem from Chernobyl, Rav Nochem Tversky. We had Zecher Tzadik Livracha. We have the Bas Ayin, a big Talmid of the Baal Shem Tov, and many more. The Baal Shem Tov said, the Baal HaTanya said, if you want to know why I was spared and I came out of jail from the Russian jail, which many people went in and never came out, is the zchus of Eretz Yisrael, the zchus of the Yidden in Eretz Yisrael that stood for me. Now, Rav Teichtel says, well, I'm not really sure what the source is that the zchus of Eretz Yisrael would really be such a great zchus. But however, he says, you could be sure that it's so, since if the Baal HaTanya said it, and he knows what he's talking about. The Magid from Mezrich said about the Baal HaTanya that the Baal HaTanya's even thought is close to Nevuah. So obviously it is so, and the zchus of Eretz Yisrael was Megan on the Baal HaTanya to be unharmed in jail and come out safe. Another thing for today is we know that the zchus of Eretz Yisrael is something to be cherished. Rashi says, we mentioned in the previous class, Rashi says, just like Torah has to be learned as if it's the first time, your first time you're learning the sugya with a lot of love and with a lot of interest. Many times later, for the 50th time also, it should be B'chol yom yu b'necha kechadashim. The same thing, the appreciation to Yishuv Eretz Yisrael should always be as if this is the first moment you came in to Eretz Yisrael. And imagine yourself, the Yidden crossed the Midbar, crossed the desert for 40 years. Once they entered the land and put their feet on the land, it could have been the desert, it could have been Yericho. That special feeling, Rashi says, that feeling should accompany us until today. B'chol yom yiyu b'necha kechadoshim. Thank you for listening, and everyone's welcome to join.